Hi, I'm Will Gustweiler from Eclipse Chocolat and Alcohol Boulevard in San Diego. And I'm going to show you today how to make frozen summer berries with white chocolate lemon thyme sauce. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the vanilla bean. Now if anyone's never seen a vanilla bean, it grows on a tropical plant as a pod. It is cured and dried on the plant to develop its flavor. And there's thousands of tiny little seeds in here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a very sharp knife and we're going to split right down the middle. Careful not to cut yourself. We're going to take our knife and we're going to scrape down the center to get all of that. This is all the vanilla flavor. We're going to put it in our saucepan with the pod as well. And then we're going to infuse this. So we're going to take some cream, a cup of cream, and then we're going to bring this over to our cooktop on a relatively low heat. We just want this to come to a bare simmer. As the cream starts to simmer, we're going to turn off the heat and we're going to infuse it like a tea, say for 5 minutes. But we want the seeds because, as you can see, you're going to be able to see all of the delicious little chunks of vanilla. Now that this has come to a bare simmer, I'm going to turn off the heat. I'm going to bring it back over to my cooktop where we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes. I have these really lovely berries. Now these are fresh berries. I bought them from the farmer's market. I washed them and froze them individually, meaning that every little individual berry has been laid out on a nice sheet pan and put in the freezer overnight until they're pretty hard and frozen. Now prior to service, I'm going to take this out of the freezer for maybe 5 minutes because I don't want to bite down in a rock hard berry, but I want a nice frozen one. And as you can see, as it comes to room temperature, you get this really beautiful frost on the outside of the berries. Seems really appropriate for summertime. So the fresh thyme, you hold it by the top and you pull down. That way you can get all of the delicious leaves, but none of the woody stems. And I'm adding the fresh thyme to my cream and my vanilla bean. And I'm going to let it steep for a few more minutes. And we're going to pull out all of those delicious thyme and vanilla bean flavors. And this is still plenty warm. In the next few minutes, it's going to get really tasty. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a lemon. Now if you have a grater, you can grate out the sides. The rind is where you have most flavor, the citrus peel. But I'm going to take a really sharp knife, and I'm just barely going to cut right through the outer layer. I'm trying to avoid the pith. The pith is the white part, and that's more bitter than the lemon. But I like doing this with a knife because you can get really big chunks of lemon. And that's really nice right in the dessert. Okay. I'm also going to cut my lemon in half. And then if you've ever juiced a lemon, you don't want your seeds to come out. So keep holding it upside down while you squeeze it. And you don't get any of the seeds, but all of the juice. It's a great little trick. So we're going to use both lemon halves. And then all of this lemon zest, I'm going to finely mince. So I'm just finished chopping up my lemon to a nice mince. And this, since it doesn't have any of that outside pith, is really, really flavorful and it doesn't have a whole lot of bitter flavors. I'm adding all of that. Now at this point, this has gone ahead and infused long enough that I can take out my vanilla bean, wipe it off. Now most people would just throw this away at this point, but I say there's far more value here. I'll wash this off, pat it dry, and then I'm going to bury this in white cane sugar, put it aside in a Tupperware container, airtight for even a month. What that's going to do is it's going to pull out all the rest of the vanilla flavor here, and you're going to have the vanilla bean sugar, which is very tasty. So I'm going to bring this back to a bare simmer to get it nice and warm again. My final ingredient is white couverture chocolate. Now, it's white chocolate. Not everyone loves white chocolate, probably because they've never had really good white chocolate. And I use the word couverture. Couverture is a code word telling us that it's the highest caliber chocolate possible. Couverture means coating in French. It means that when this chocolate's melted, it's very, very thin. So if you were to dip something in it, end up with a very thin coating on the outside. It's thin because it has a very high cocoa butter content, and that has a really supreme texture. Here in the United States, most white chocolate that we consume as Americans isn't nearly this good. So if you ever had chocolate that you don't care for, it's probably because they skimped out and didn't give you enough cocoa butter. It's the cocoa butter here that's really phenomenal. All right, so I'm gonna use a little over a cup, and I'm gonna go ahead and add that to the rest of my delicious pot. I'm just gonna let the white chocolate melt, and then it's done. You can go ahead and pour this right over your frozen berries. Very, very delicious, hot and cold treat for the summertime. But this is a finished sauce. You can put this in your refrigerator. You can store it for even a few weeks and use it on all sorts of things. Have our hot white chocolate lemon thyme sauce over our frozen berries. For me, the best part is the actual presentation when you be able to get to pour the whole thing together. You get all of that warm sauce against all those frozen berries. As the cold berries start to chill the sauce almost becomes fudgy. It's delicious. You ready?
I am.
All right, perfect for summer. I love how icy it is. So here at Eclipse Chocolat on Elkhorn Boulevard, we serve a chocolate, vanilla, and caramel-infused brunch every weekend. You'll find more treats just like this, perfect for your indulgence.